Alright, welcome to my first ever weekly breakdown video. So today I'm just going to be breaking down my weekly trades, explaining why I took them and any lessons that I learned from the week. So this week, as you can see, here's my TradeZeller. This is for a 20k phase 1 account. Good week. Monday, Tuesday I did trade them, but they were on 10k phase 1, which I passed. So I'm just going to explain the whole week. So first off, jump into the charts. Now this is going to be a series that I do every week. Hopefully you guys find it helpful. I'm just going to run through in replay mode. First I'm going to go to my results chart, which is where I just leave all the past trades that I've taken on, sort of as a log, so you can see them all. I recommend you guys do that as well. Not have them on your main chart, so they stay clean and you can have a clean mind while you're live trading. Alright, so starting from Monday, this was on the 10k account, and I had a, look at my whiteboard, 2.13% win. This I think is the one that passed me the challenge, or maybe that was on Tuesday. So how I'm going to go through it is, I'm just going to put it in replay, so you guys can see what I was thinking while it played out live, rather than just like a full-on hindsight view. So on Monday, what I was seeing, I get to the charts around 7:45. I don't take any trades before 8 AM, which is London Open for me. Now, fast forward to 8 AM, you can see we had this nice push upwards. And at this point, so how I trade is 5 minutes buy and demand, GBP, JPY only, and I only take supply and demand setups when a liquidity, a low, a high, or a supply demand zone has just failed right in front of my zone. So first off, we had this zone created. Now, before this happened right here, I'm not taking this trade. There's no liquidity to take out, it's just a normal zone, pulls back to it, no one's lost. Now, once this has happened, and this forms, another push upwards, I see a decently major low for the 5 minute created. So at this point, there's a low in liquidity to be taken out. So now, this zone here is a valid zone for me. And again, another bounce off, which makes it even more liquidity, which makes this out even stronger. Two lows right there to take out, a lot of stops taken out. And so what we look for is to take out the lows, tap into my zone, and then we need a reaction at the zone. So how I trade is, I will not take the demand or supply zone if it closes anywhere in the zone. It has to wick in, close rejecting, otherwise I don't take it. Now, I have a few different entries that I can use, a few different setup types. Now this one, it was an Asia zone, or maybe it was a London zone, it's like on the line from what session it was formed in. And it was a flip entry, so this would be an Asia zone flip entry, because I entered flip. Now, one thing I'll say is, I do not trade, let's say it's the 25 minute candle, 5 minutes before a new 30, or in the last 10 minutes of a 1 hour, unless there's a big reaction. So right here, it's perfect because it's a new 15, which means the new 15 minute candle opens, creates a bottom wick into the zone, which is what I saw on this trade, and then pushes up. That's good. If it was the 40th minute candle, and it only closed like a little bit respecting, I probably would not be getting in, just because the new 15 is about to open and it can very easily create a wick and take us out and then still win. So when it's on a new hour, a new 15, a new 30 minute, that's the perfect time to get in. So we've taken out these two lows, tapped into the zone, it's a new 15 minute, bottom wick created, and I entered flip here. So normally I either wait for the candle to close, but I can enter flip if it's a new higher time frame candle, which is what I did here. Not the most aggressive entry. Now, my RR only depends on my stop loss size. So I'll pull up my rules quickly. Got a template here. So these are my rules. You can see stop loss size is how I decide my RR. Now this was made just from backtesting a lot. How much the trade can comfortably run for almost every time. depending on the stop loss size. So right here, we're going for a 1 to 2 because it's 6.1 pip stop loss. Enter flip, very simple. Now, all my trades, they tend to have an extremely instant reaction. Just like this, 1 candle, 5 minutes, 2%. Very simple, we've taken out lows. So yeah, a very clean trade right there on Monday. Now let's fast forward to Tuesday. This supply zone, I was not looking at during the actual day, just because there was no liquidity at the time, but you can see right here, 2 decent wicks created for another day whenever I took that trade. So 8 AM London Open, nothing really at the moment. Now there's a zone right here with this low to take out, and so you'll be able to see how I trade. It closed in the zone, so we just don't take it. In fact, even invalidate it on the first candle. Now the reason waiting for the candle to close is so important is because I didn't used to do this in the past, and it was one reason that I had really good results in backtesting but not in the live markets. Because in backtesting, I never see the candles form, I only enter based off how they close. And so in live markets, what I used to do was, let's say at this zone, when this candle went into it, it was rejecting a lot. It's all the way up here, big wick rejecting, I enter. And then it turns out the candle just closes, completely bearish, and it's not even a trade. So that was a mistake that I used to make. Now, obviously if you wait for the candle close, you avoid that, and you close the gap between live markets and backtesting. So yeah, right here, closed in the zone, another setup down here, invalidated straight away, closed in the zone. Let's fast forward to the actual trade. Okay, so down here, it was an old zone. Now old zones are a different type of setup. Well, actually this could have been an Asia zone, no, old zone. So I call it an old zone when it was from any day before the previous session, previous day. So this one was in New York yesterday, so it was not from today. So that's the old zone setup. Came down and we saw it reject nicely on the first candle. Now as you can see right here, that's a new 30-minute candle. It cleanly opened on a new 30-minute bottom wick, tapped into the zone, and I entered on the next candle. Sometimes I just enter on the close straight away, or if it's not rejected too much, like a small wick like this, it's relatively small, then I will just wait for the next candle to make a bottom wick and then enter as soon as it flips, which is what happened here. Now this one was a 4.6 pip stop loss, which made it a 1 to 3. Very simple. Got my zone on, old zone. Very patient, waited all the way until 1:30 for this trade. And yeah, entered flip, simple 1 to 3. Hits within like 6 or 7 minutes. So that's another good thing about the strategy. Setups are clean normally and they just hit straight away. Right, on Wednesday this was London Open, extremely bullish open. Created a big wick right here, took out this high, but there's still these 2 major highs. Now this zone, if I go back to it, another major rule is I only trade untapped zones. What that means is no wicks or candles have ever come back to the zone. It's just clean, nothing's come into it. Now the reason I think this works so well, and this is just my theory behind it, is because at these zones, these untapped zones, they haven't been used before. Institutions or whatever, they can have limit orders at the zones. And that's why I never see them close in the zone and like instant reactions. If the zone has been tapped into before, this never happens. I've never seen it. It rarely happens, just cleanly and instantly. And if there's no liquidity either. So once people have lost, it's ready to just, it's taken out people they've lost, it's ready to instantly reverse the other direction. Now that's what people say. They always get stopped out and then the trade goes in the direction. So almost with this strategy, we're just taking advantage of that. People lose or get stopped out, and then it goes in the other direction. But not so much on this trade right here. This was old zone. Alright, so it came back up. Very big wick rejecting right there. Super clean. Now this was on a 20k account, so I can see it on TradeZella. It was a 1% win. It should have been more. The first two trades I took, it was quite annoying. They should have been a lot more, but I had an error with my magic keys set up. I had the commission set to £7 or $7 because my last account was a dollar account, and I didn't change it to £5.40. So my wins were a lot smaller. So this was actually a 1 to 2, but it was only 1% profit, which is annoying, but it doesn't matter because profit's profit. So I entered flip on this. It was a new 1 hour candle, which is perfect. Creates a top wick into the zone, takes out some highs. Now it's just ready to instantly reverse and smash TP. So I entered flip on this one. It ended up closing, which would have been a bear entry. Closing closer, but that doesn't matter. Within 2 candles, it's instantly hit TP. Super simple trading style, super clean, and tangible in the live markets. That's a problem that I used to make, was trading so unrealistically from backtesting strategies that weren't even possible to recreate in the live markets. So yeah, that was Wednesday, 2%. Let's see what was next. Thursday was another old zone. As you can see, here is London Open. Nothing happened. There was a zone right here, but as you can see, it was just tapped into already. I draw that as a supply zone. See, this green wick came back up and touched it, so we don't take that anymore because it's not an untapped zone. And as you can see, we would have lost. It went in close respecting, but nothing happened. It just instantly lost. Now, old zones, you don't need liquidity at them. Now, nobody actually thinks of taking these trades. This is a zone from, you can get zones from a really long time ago on the 5 minute untapped, and they always hit very cleanly. So this is back here, untapped zone, no candles ever came back to it. Draw that on. All the way back here. Alright, eventually we come up to the zone. Now this was a very good trade in terms of psychology, just because, and following the rules, you can see it came in and tapped pretty cleanly. But if you look at the time, that was 9:25, which means the next candle is a new 30-minute open. So entering here would not be a good idea because you can easily get stopped out by the wick, which I would have. I always place my stop loss 1 pip above or below the entry candle. So I would have been stopped out if I didn't follow the rules and entered straight away. So new 30-minute candle, we wait for that to form. I would have lost if I didn't wait or have patience. And second wick in, closes out, entered flip right here. This is a new 30-minute open. It did come all the way down here, ended up closing right here. I was in for that whole drop down and back up. But it doesn't matter. This doesn't make a difference. It's still a bearish candle, which is a good thing, indicating that the next one will push down. Especially on a new 30-minute open, the first candle can often tell what the next one's going to do. On a higher time frame opening candle, especially when it's wicked into a zone like this, one of my untapped zones, close respecting. Now at that point, I instantly knew this was going to happen. This was a 1 to 3, extreme confidence, smashes TP. Now the only thing is, did I hit the full trade on this? I think I might have. Let's see. 2:35 on Thursday. On Friday, we had a 0.5% day. It was 1 loss, which I'll explain what I learned from it when we get to it. It was 1 loss and 1 win. The loss I cut early, pretty good, or removed partials, which is why the win ended up putting us above profit. So let me skip forward to Friday. Alright, so on Friday at 8 AM London Open, there was no setups, nothing happened at all, just consolidating really slowly, small trend line coming down. Eventually, 9:30, decent candle there. I don't think there was any news or anything. So finally volume picked up a little bit, and that's when we got this good demand zone formed. We broke new highs all the way up to here. Now here we have a few setups, potential trades on the way down. So at this point it was getting decently late. We had news right there, which didn't give us any trades. And yeah, at this point it's 1:30, so I've been waiting for a while. And there's a few trades right here that we could take. So this one is the one I did end up taking and I lost on. This demand zone, which I absolutely should not have taken. I'll explain why. The lesson that I learned was, so this was, as you can see, the zone to draw the candle on, the wick was bigger than the next candle, so we only used the body. However, on the live charts and on some markets, it wasn't bigger, so we would draw the zone like this, which means it's not untapped. Now, normally with trading, I'll never take a trade if there's any sort of question about it. If anything's doubtful or questionable, I would not take it. So for me, that was questionable. Like on some brokers it's not bigger, on some it is. So I'm just going to ignore it. But then, when it actually came to the zone, this happened. So on these charts, it even invalidated the zone. On the live markets it didn't. And so what happened was, it's getting late, slightly impatient, and this huge reaction happened. So in my mind I'm thinking, wow, okay, that's so obvious, it's going to win. So I end up entering right here on the flip of this candle, and the next one just pushed straight down. Didn't stop me out. The next one came up. So now at this point, when this happened, dropped straight down but didn't stop me out because my stop loss is right here. When this one pushed up about halfway, I closed a quarter here. And then when it came back up to break even, I also closed a quarter here. So by the end of it, I was in a really small position. Now I'll go on here and I'll see if it shows that. Yeah, I only ended up losing 150. Let's see if it shows that trade. Right, so as I was saying, before my cat just brought a mouse into my room, I cut this runner well. I think that's what I was saying. Cut this runner well. Only ended up being £150 loss, and then good liquidity created right here. This zone fails to tap into my zone. Now we come in on the new 1 hour open. Now the only annoying thing about this is, because I just lost here on the same candle I should have entered on, I ended up getting in really late, all the way up here. So it was a new 1 hour, so creating a wick into the zone then flipping, I wanted to be in around here, a lot more aggressive. So yeah, good lesson about how I should have been more patient. And also, the reaction at the zone does not tell me how good the zone is. So I knew this was a bad zone in the first place, and that I shouldn't have really traded there. But the reaction at the zone maybe changed my mind and think it was a good zone. So yeah, that taught me to never do that. So the reaction at the zone doesn't make it a good zone to trade off. It has to be a good zone in the first place, not to change my mind on it, and also to be more patient. So yeah, patience when it's getting later in the day. So I ended up getting in here quite a lot later than I would have wanted to be. The stop loss size made it a 1 to 1.25 for this one. Held it all the way through this. Came down, draw down quite a bit, then smashed up to make new highs, which was a very good sign for me. Came back down, and then next candle we won. So that was quite a long trade for my strategy, which it wouldn't have been if I entered straight away. If I entered well aggressive, then it would have been a 1 to 2 and it would have literally hit right on this candle. So it would have been 5-10 minutes again, which is an unusual trade time. However, in the past there was no chance I would have been able to hold this. Coming all the way back down here, making new highs, then it instantly coming red again. Probably would have closed here, maybe here. So it shows how the psychology is the most important part. For one, this mistake, and then two, being able to actually capitalize on the trade that came straight after, and then turn it into a profitable day by 0.5%. So, right, cat out the room. That's like the 4th time I've had to stop. Anyway, go to the trades. Yep, so you can see right here, that was the original one where I lost. Cut that decently short. It was 1.5% risk, and so was the next one. So I only ended up losing like, that's 0.75 I believe. And then for the next one, this was 1 entry, and then I also did a small, I put on 1 extra lot after it created this low, which didn't break these lows, and then this one broke above the previous candle. I added 1 extra lot, which I closed about here, and then the rest closed at the full distance. So that was this week, a fully profitable week. 10k phase 1 got passed, which is this one right here. 4 out of 5 trading days so far, so I just need to enter with micro lots, and profitable week. Let me know what you thought about this video. I'm going to be doing it every week, and yeah, see you guys later.